Ada and the Mystical Pot. Long time ago, in a village called Umuonu, lived a girl called Ada. Ada's mother died a very long time ago, and her father remarried a woman named Uju. Uju had a daughter called Nneka. Ada was kind and friendly and helpful, while Nneka was the complete opposite. When Ada's father died, he left their hut and his few belongings to Uju, asking her to take care of his daughters. Uju did not care about Ada. Anytime she cooked, she would give Ada a very little portion, or sometimes none at all. This did not dampen Ada's helpful spirit, as she will still help her wash, clean, and do so many chores around the house, while Nneka slept or went outside to play. As time went on, Ada had to find ways to make a little money to help her survive. After doing all the house chores in the morning, Ada would set out to the market. Ada would look around for a trader that needed assistance. She would assist them for a few hours and collect her payment in food items or fruits. And sometimes they would just thank her for her help. On the way home, Ada stopped by a farm where an old man was working alone and offered to help him. She assisted him with his crops for the day, and in gratitude, he prayed for her and gave her some corn for her efforts. When Ada got home, she showed Uju the fruits that she got at the market and the corn that was given to her by the farmer. Uju and her daughter Nneka went into the room and ate all of it, leaving Ada nothing. Ada went to bed very hungry, but hoped for better days ahead. One early morning, Ada woke up and began her house chores. Uju told her to hurry up as she had many errands for her to run. She sent Ada on so many errands while her daughter Nneka was outside playing with her friend. Ada set out to run the errands, but on her way she saw an old woman in need of help. Ada offered to help her go to the stream and bring back the pail of water before she set out on her errands. What Ada did not know that Nneka and her friend were playing by the side of the road, and she saw Ada talking to the old woman instead of going on the errands which Uju, her mother, had sent her. Nneka could not wait. She ran as fast as her little legs could carry her and went home to report Ada to her mother. Nneka told her mother that she saw Ada chit-chatting on the way instead of running the errands that she had been sent. Uju was furious. Ada had grown wings and it was time to cut them. She waited in anger for Ada's return. Ada quickly rushed to the stream and fetched the water for the old woman. She took it back to her hut and the old lady thanked her. In gratitude, she gave her a small old pot and said anytime she needed to cook anything, she should just put the pot on fire and add some water. Ada didn't understand what she meant, but she said thank you and rushed to do her errands. When she got home, she showed Uju the pot, but Uju was already too angry to listen. Uju abused her for taking so long before returning from the errand and threw the useless old pot outside. With tears in her eyes, Ada went to retrieve the pot and cleaned it up. In punishment, Uju gave Ada no food for the night. Later that night, Ada grew really hungry. She took the old pot the old woman gave her and put it on fire and added water. Maybe she could add a few grains. But as Ada turned her back, something happened. Food began to appear in the pot. Astonished, she looked around, and the kitchen was filled with food. Scared, Ada ran out of the kitchen to call Uju to come and see. She banged on Uju's door, but Uju screamed at her for interrupting her sleep. Ada went back to the kitchen and looked at the food once again. Maybe this is what the old woman meant when she gave her the pot. Ada ate to her satisfaction and went to bed with a full belly. The next morning, Ada told Uju what had happened. Uju accused her of lying and put the pot on fire herself. Behold, nothing special happened. Uju threw the pot outside again and said she never wanted to see or hear about it. Sad, Ada went to retrieve the pot and set it on fire and put some water. And just like the night before, food appeared in abundance. When Uju saw all the food, she was astonished. Uju asked Ada where she got the pot. Ada told her that an old woman in the village gave it to her as a gift for helping her fetch some water. She instructed Ada never to mention the pot to anyone. This must be a secret kept just amongst the three of them. She even told Ada to let her keep the pot under her bed. The pot must only be brought out when it was time to cook. As time passed, the village fell into an inexplicable famine. Suddenly there was no food and all the crops were dying. Ada begged her to give them the food for free. Uju hushed her up quickly, saying that this was going to be her chance to be very rich. Ada was very sad. She wanted to help the villagers. One day, when Uju had gone out, Ada quickly took the pot and made a lot of food for the villagers. She gave them all to eat for free. Uju returned and was livid with anger. She punished Ada by locking her up in the room, only to come out when it was time to cook. Days passed. As the famine grew worse, the king became concerned. The king and the elders were so worried. They summoned the chief priest. The chief priest revealed that the villagers only had to plant a new farm and start raising new cattle. However, the immediate solution to the famine was right there in the village. The chief priest told the king to make an announcement that anyone who holds the solution to feeding the people will be highly rewarded. When the news reached Uju, she was beside herself with excitement. She knew they had the solution to the famine. She could not wait to be a part of the royal household. Maybe the king would even make her a wife, and she would eventually become queen. Thinking of all these made Uju happy. Uju went to the palace and told the king that she had the solution to the famine. But she can only solve that problem if she cooked the food in her house with the pot. The king told her to come to the village square and cook so that everyone could see and eat. But Uju insisted that she must only make all the food in her own house. Eager to solve the famine problem, the king let Uju cook from home and provided enough food for all the villagers. However, his council became very curious. How come they have never seen her cook this food? They decided to investigate, and this was when they discovered that there has been a girl in Uju's home that has been kept prisoner and only came out when it was time to cook. The king and his council sent for Uju. The king instructed Uju to bring the girl to the palace. Reluctantly, Uju brought Ada to the palace. The king and the elders asked Ada for the truth. Ada told the king that one day she helped an old woman fetch some water from the river, and in gratitude, the old woman gave her the pot, and only she could use the pot that provided the abundance of food. Uju was angry but could not say anything. The king asked her why she was in captivity, and Ada confessed that she wanted to help the villagers and feed them all for free, but her stepmother did not want that. The king was angry with Uju. He withdrew all the riches that he gave to her and bestowed them upon Ada. And from that day, Ada was rewarded for all her good deeds and was invited to join the royal household immediately. The king wanted to banish Uju and her daughter, but Ada pleaded for the king's forgiveness. However, Uju and her daughter were not allowed to come close to the palace to see Ada. When the famine ended, the village was grateful to Ada for seeing them through such a difficult time. Uju and Nneka watched as Ada's life changed for the better with tears in their eyes. And even with all the riches bestowed upon Ada, she never stopped being kind and good to anyone who needed help. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment. It will help us. Thank you.